Trusted news source. This is Channel 8 News Midday.
Well, right now, support is growing for both medical and recreational cannabis use in Nebraska. UNL sharing this new survey this morning highlighting how Nebraska's support for legal cannabis has increased from 2024 until now. The data says that 47% of Nebraskan adults are in favor of legal marijuana for both medical and recreational use, while in 2024 that number was 44%. Their support of legal medical cannabis has gone up 4% as well from 2024, now at 84%. Thank you for joining us, everyone. I'm Andrew Warren. Now, this news comes at an important time for medical cannabis in our state. Just this week, the Medical Cannabis Commission here in Nebraska moving forward with licensing fees for cannabis establishments and applicants. It was their first meeting since Governor Jim Pillen approved regulations for the drug nearly 2 years after more than 70% of Nebraska voters approved its use. Of course, we are following every step of this process on our Now Local News app. It's been a years-long journey. We've seen protests, emotional testimony from both sides and of the aisle. Just download the Now Local News app for what new changes are coming regarding medical marijuana. All right, let's talk weather here this morning. Kind of a cloudy start to your Thursday. Look outside at our Alec Communications camera. Going to be another pretty close day to what we saw yesterday. Let's get on over to meteorologist Dominic Ferraro. Let's get a closer look in our first forecast for us. Good morning, Dominic.
Hey, good morning, Andrew. Yeah, overcast skies once again here for the start of our Thursday as we head towards the lunch hour. And good news is we might be a little bit warmer than yesterday. Still well below average, so those enjoying kind of some cooler summertime days will be fans of this one too. But this is likely going to be our picture here for the majority of the afternoon. As we take a look here north on our Berry Law camera, temperatures at the moment 71 degrees here in Lincoln, dew points in the lower 60s. So those have gone up just a little bit since yesterday. Winds right now out of the south between 5 and 10 miles per hour. But all in all, it's still fairly pleasant compared to what we even saw, for the start of the work week. But don't get too excited. Those warmer temperatures are coming back. It's the low 60s then out towards Thedford, Broken Bow, the mid 60s for Grand Island. 70 then here in Lincoln, or excuse me, 70 in Columbus, 71 in Lincoln, 77 degrees in Omaha. So, it's almost crazy how much difference a 50 miles makes up the road. But they've seen a little more clearing this morning. They've been able to heat up a little bit, but we're stuck underneath that cloud cover with a few passing showers then off towards south. That's going to continue for a little bit longer. I do think, maybe a spot shower or two the rest of the way, but the majority of us then with those overcast skies. That'll limit temperatures today in the mid 70s, so it'll be just a few degrees warmer than your Wednesday. But we're going to warm up as we head into the weekend, and certainly then as we head towards the start of next week. More details on that forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Dominic. U.S. and Iran trading strikes overnight, with Iran claiming to have struck U.S. military assets in Jordan and Kuwait. U.S. officials warning Iran will pay a big price if they don't make a deal. President Trump also threatening to bomb Iranian infrastructure for every strike on a ship in the Strait of Hormuz. Those developments bringing a shock effect into the U.S. stock market. Here's a live look at Wall Street this morning. The Dow Jones down more than almost 500 points. There it goes, hopping over 500. The raging conflict also impacting the economy here at home, with gas prices skyrocketing. So are those oil prices this morning. ABC's Rena Roy reports.
Video posted online shows flames at a border crossing between Iran and Iraq. People screaming and running for safety. The U.S. has not acknowledged that specific strike, but it's the 12th straight day of attacks on Iran. CENTCOM releasing this video saying the U.S. struck Iranian military targets overnight. Human rights activists in Iran say there's been nearly 3,700 Iranian casualties since February.
We do it because we have to do it, because we cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon.
Meanwhile, Iranian-backed militants in Yemen taking aim at 2 Saudi oil tankers in the Red Sea in an attempt to block international shipping, choking another key waterway that could have ripple effects for the world economy. President Trump saying the U.S. will inflict, quote, major military punishment on Iran and the Houthis if the attacks continue. Iran also threatening tankers in the Strait of Hormuz.
They will pay a very heavy price for the things they're doing. They're already paying a very heavy price. They're probably not ready to do a deal yet, but they will be soon, because the price they're paying is very high despite their tough talk.
Trump warning that for every Iranian strike on a ship in the Strait of Hormuz, the U.S. will bomb and destroy one bridge or power plant inside Iran. Deliberately targeting civilian infrastructure is a potential war crime under international law.
Global oil hit $100 a barrel after Trump's comments that he will inflict military punishment, and gas prices are once again being impacted. According to Gas Buddy, the national average for a gallon of regular is more than $4, up 16 cents from last week. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
New developments on tearing down a piece of history in Beatrice. Take a look at this. Fire ravaging the Dempster site in Highway 77 a little over a year ago. We captured this video of the huge flames from our Showens roofing camera. Now the city is starting demolition with the Dempster's carpentry shop. Yeah, the city even adding a little music to their demolition video. They weren't able to get a grant to help them tear this down, so through the budget, they're going to be doing it a little at a time. This week, it's the old carpentry shop. Some of the other buildings will have been around since the late 1800s. They'll require a little bit more professional demolition contractors. Nebraska Task Force 1 providing an update from down south, saying its mission in Texas is far from over, even as floodwaters begin to recede. They're keeping water rescue teams ready to deploy at a moment's notice, and also watching developing weather in the Gulf from Tropical Storm Bertha to make sure crews can respond quickly if conditions change. Developing now, a local group is trying to stop the cycle of veteran suicides.
The good thing about this is if a veteran is having a rough patch and they don't necessarily want to go to the VA, they can come in here and just vent.
Yeah, they fought for our country, and now some are fighting to live a normal life again. Every day, more than a dozen veterans and soldiers take their own lives. That's why a group is trying to help, not only for veterans, but for first responders. RJ Coleman reports.
A place to connect. The Nebraska American Legion Post 27 getting together Wednesday night for their monthly meeting at the Veterans Club in Beatrice. The item on the menu tonight? Tacos.
The whole idea of this is just to get everybody together in a room. People with PTSD, people without PTSD. Sometimes it's just veterans supporting other veterans, first responders, what have you.
Veterans and first responders and soldiers meet on the 22nd of every month because 4 years ago when this mission began, that was the average of 22 veterans committing suicide each day.
It gives us, pride in that we all recognize that we have issues.
And that's what their mission still is, working towards eliminating and reducing suicides in the veterans community. And their mission is growing.
And, I've lost 8 friends myself to suicide that I served with. And, it really, hits your heart sometimes.
It's called Buddy Check. And that's exactly what it is, checking on your buddy, where veterans and first responders can all get together, share a meal, a laugh, and a conversation, some that can only be had between one comrade and another. John Vela with the Nebraska Vietnam Veterans Memorial was a guest speaker Wednesday night and says being there for one another truly makes a difference.
People like first responders, police, law enforcement, military, when they go through some of the traumatic, events that they occur regular in their occupations, it's that camaraderie really, you really have a bond with your fellow servicemen.
And each month, members of the community will continue to show up for those that can't.
It's not as easy as just saying, hey, come on out and have a meal. It is as easy as saying, hey, call your person, call your whoever you need to call and get here.
Reported in Lincoln, Jay Coleman, Channel 8 News.
Right now, Senator Deb Fischer is remembering a late colleague on the Senate floor. She is paying tribute to Senator Lindsey Graham, remembering his years of service and commitment to national security. Fischer says one of the best ways to honor his legacy is to support Ukraine and hold Russia accountable.
So I rise here today to, yes, pay tribute to Lindsey Graham, but to also call on my colleagues to help us carry on one of his greatest efforts, ending Putin's barbaric and unjust war against sovereign Ukraine.
Fischer also urging her colleagues to pass the Sanctioning Russia Act, saying stronger sanctions and continued support for Ukraine would help carry forward Graham's legacy in the U.S. Senate. Happening today, a new space designed to help Lincoln kids learn and grow is officially opening its doors. Family Service Lincoln is celebrating the grand opening of its new STEAM Activity Center at 52nd and Holdridge today at 3 o'clock. The facility will offer before and after school programs focused on science, technology, engineering, art, and math, along with safe recreation and community programming for local families. Well, 2 former Huskers competing for Team USA in the Volleyball Nations League this morning. It was a rough one, though. The U.S. falling to the host nation China in the quarterfinals in a 5-set thriller. Former Husker Lexi Rodriguez playing the most in the match as the team's libero, while Maddie Kubik-Banks did not record a point. The team is now eliminated from play in the VNL. Those 2 Huskers will likely be on the roster for the group's next major tournament. When we come back, crime on the rise, the illegal act that many Americans say they've committed and why some say they had no choice.
Get in.
Becoming more common across the country. Lending Tree finding 3 in 10 Americans admit they've shoplifted, up from 23% just 2 years ago. Of those who have stolen, more than half say they did it because they just could not afford the items. That's what this pie chart here is showing. 47% of responders say Walmart is the easiest store to shoplift from. Now, this graph highlighting what is being stolen. You can see food and drink very much high on that list. The survey also finding that younger adults were the most likely to admit to shoplifting. Fidelity estimates what retirees can expect to spend on health care, and Lilly's next generation weight loss shot clears another hurdle. Here's Jane King with today's Wellness Report.
Eli Lilly said it will file for approval of its next generation obesity drug, retatrutide, in the first quarter of next year as it succeeds in 2 more late-stage trials. The drug delivered significant weight loss and improvements in a key measure of blood sugar levels in adults with obesity and either type 2 diabetes or cardiovascular disease. Now, the company believes it has the data necessary to file for approval globally as a potential treatment for obesity, knee osteoarthritis pain, and obstructive sleep apnea. Well, a 65-year-old who retires in 2026 may spend an average of $185,000 on health and medical expenses in retirement, according to Fidelity. That's up 7.5% from last year as certain health care costs rise. It's also a price tag that the research shows is unexpectedly high for many retirees. On most pre-retirees, 54% incorrectly expect that Medicare will cover all of their health expenses, according to Fidelity's research. And a $399 ring called a signal ring wants to replace the blood pressure cuff. Also, unlike wearables from certain high-profile companies like Apple, it provides not just blood pressure trends, but actual readings. And capturing automatic readings throughout the day means the ring gathers data overnight. And creators say that's critical to have an idea of blood pressure during sleep, because that might show more if a person is at risk of a cardiovascular event like a stroke or heart attack. From the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Jane King. Here's to your health.
Be sure to enjoy those cooler temperatures while you can as we start to warm up on Friday and into the weekend ahead. More details coming up in your full forecast after the break.
Bringing you the most meteorologist Dominic Ferraro.
And while it's a bit cloudy out there, today is another day where we will be enjoying some very cool temperatures here for late July. We're still in that period where statistically this is our warmest time of the year, with average high temperatures in Lincoln right at 90 degrees. But today we'll be lucky then to see the mid 70s. So certainly some relief from the heat, though it's not going to last forever. But cloudy for the rest of your afternoon today. Overnight chances then for some more showers, possibly a thunderstorm, especially for those of us along and south of Interstate 80. And then we head towards this weekend where we do expect that summer heat to return. I mean, it was bound to at some point, but here's a look at your heat index as we get into the weekend here. It's manageable on Friday, though, as we head into Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. The potential for those heat indices to be above 100 degrees in a few spots. So if you have any outdoor plans here, especially through the weekend and into the start of next week, we want to make sure that we're at least preparing them for some potentially hot and humid conditions across southeastern Nebraska. As we take a quick look here at Shones Roofing Camera at South 6 and Perkins Street, you can see overcast skies continuing there to the south of the capital city as well. Temperatures at the moment across the state in the 60s for most of us, but several of us here in the 70s as we head off into eastern Nebraska. It's 71 in Lincoln, 77 already in the Omaha area, mid to upper 60s for the Tri-Cities, 66 in Hebron, 68 up in York. So again, this is pretty manageable as we get ready to head out to lunch here. Wouldn't be a bad day to do it. Winds also on the lighter side between 5 to 10 miles per hour and out of the south. Those southerly winds are going to kind of help us warm up, but the main thing kind of limiting our temperatures right now is that cloud cover. So we can see here Omaha, they've seen a little more clearing, although this cloud cover is also heading their way, but that's why they're several degrees warmer than we are here down in Lincoln. Beatrice saw a quick shower here a couple hours ago, and we might see 1 or 2 more sprinkles there along the Kansas-Nebraska line as that continues to move east. But other than that, fairly overcast skies across the state. That looks to continue, at least for us here in eastern Nebraska, going forward. Stormcast does have those rain chances coming to an end here as we go throughout the afternoon and into your Thursday evening. But as we head into the overnight hours, the potential for a few more showers and possibly a thunderstorm or two, mainly in areas along and south of Interstate 80. This is 3 a.m. on Friday morning here, and then closer to that morning commute for us in the capital city. Keep the umbrella handy, keep the rain jacket handy, as these will try and linger them through the 8, 9 o'clock hour, and then ultimately wrap up a little closer to 10, 11 o'clock. And as we get ready for lunch on Friday with a few more lingering clouds then throughout the rest of the afternoon, we'll be lucky to see a little bit of sunshine there as we wrap things up for the work week, but looks to then have that cloud cover build back in, at least for the start of the day on Saturday, ahead of some warmer temperatures heading our way. In terms of rainfall potential, I mean, there's a shot that we could see a couple inches of rain again in those areas right along the Kansas-Nebraska line. It'll be a pretty quick cutoff, though, between the haves and the have-nots. So we'll take the moisture if we can get it. That is for sure. Temperatures this afternoon topping out here in the low to mid 70s for us in eastern Nebraska. Omaha forecasted for the low 80s, and better chances for the 80s as you head out towards the west as well. And we'll get our own shot at the 80s then for your Friday, and then that's when summertime returns for us in southeast Nebraska on Saturday. And we get for the moment low to mid 90s and even a few upper 90s as we head into the start of next week. Our next best chance at precipitation there, a small glancing blow for Tuesday. I know it's a little far out on the meteorology clock, so we'll keep an eye on that. But other than that, as we head towards the end of the month and into the start of August, fairly typical summertime temperatures in the upper 80s to low 90s.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Coming up ahead, a mystery in Mississippi. Why an autopsy report is bringing more doubt and uncertainty around the death of an 18-year-old athlete. How the family is grappling with this sad reality.
La Paz, Mexican.
the Mississippi College freshman, found dead following a boat trip with friends. This morning, his death remains a mystery after the results came back undetermined. Here's ABC's Andrea Fujii.
This morning, still no concrete answers as to how 18-year-old Nolan Wells died. The preliminary findings of the independent autopsy report commissioned by Wells's family found the cause of his death to be undetermined.
I think in this circumstance, the things that weren't found are very important.
Wells's body was found July 6th, 2 days after he'd gone to an island off the coast of Mississippi with friends who later returned to the mainland without him. Sources tell ABC News Wells was found wearing only swim trunks, face down in the water, consistent with a drowning. The independent autopsy found there were no fractures or deep tissue injuries, but described an area of red discoloration on the back of his head. The pathologist said he could not observe the airway and lungs for water because the Mississippi medical examiner had already removed organs and part of the neck, pointing out that is common practice.
This pathologist cannot rule out if any intervening non-accidental factors contributed to or caused the death of Nolan Wells.
The state's autopsy is still pending, and it's not clear when they will release results.
The only question that we have is what happened to our son.
Following Wells's death, Black leaders are calling for transparency from local authorities.
If it was an accident, then we should move forward. If it wasn't an accident, then people should be held accountable.
Mississippi officials say once the autopsy report is complete with toxicology results, the DA will present it to a grand jury. For now, they're asking for patience. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
When we come back, new cluster on the radar. Authorities investigating a possible new source of the severe stomach illness. What we know about the new outbreak next.
At Stanton, for a limited time, kids get a free eye exam.
Penguins need clear vision. Kids do too.
Plus, glasses start at just $79, made same day. Smart, simple, Stanton.
It's the little things that make home feel like home. A warm meal on the table, a tidy space, and someone who truly listens with patience and care. It's Synergy Home Care of Lincoln. We bring comfort, connection, and peace of mind to families across our community right at your doorstep. Because when your loved ones feel cared for, you can breathe easier too. Synergy Home Care of Lincoln. For life's little moments, as well as the big ones.
The $1 Million Summer Sell-Off is happening now at Ashley. Drastic price cuts, massive markdowns, and store-wide savings mean now is the time to buy. Take up to 50% off living rooms, bedrooms, mattresses, and more. There's never been a better time to shop. Everything is priced to sell. Hurry in while the selection is at its best because these prices won't last. Shop the $1 Million Summer Sell-Off going on now at Ashley in Kearney, Grand Island, North Platte, and Beatrice. Don't miss it.
At Stanton, our progressive lenses are digital, customized for you. All distances, one lens. Get 2 progressives plus a free eye exam for just $175. Smart, simple, Stanton.
Ernie's Mattress First, your local sleep specialists.
Next ET, our Palm Beaches week hits the high seas with Kevin Hart and Marcelo Hernandez, plus Josh Duhamel on ditching Hollywood to live off the grid.
I love it. I mean, maybe it's not for everybody.
Next
Weekdays at 6:30 after Channel 8 News at 6.
Upgrading your facility's lighting? Wolf Electric delivers expert solutions, from energy-saving ballast to full LED system installations. Our skilled team ensures fast, efficient service with minimal disruption to your operations, backed by a 1-year warranty. Go to wolfelectric.com for your free quote today.
Now, from Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News Midday.
Developing now, first responders are preparing for an active shooter situation.
Park against the wall. Coming out.
It was not your everyday scene inside the walls of Malcolm schools. Instead, the students, it was deputies and medics training under the leadership of the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office. They're focused on preventing Lincoln from becoming the home of the next American tragedy. Come take a look here. You can see this video from their active violence and tactical medical training. Guns were drawn. The goal is to ensure first responders are ready if they're responding to school violence. Channel 8's Daniel Da Silva joining them for that special training.
If you don't feel what it's like to have a little tourniquet on, you will not put a tourniquet on correctly with somebody else.
There were about 25 deputies and 15 medics taking part in Wednesday's active shooter and tactical medic training held by the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office. Chief Deputy Ben Houchin says as new deputies come in, the training becomes even more necessary to continue.
We want to do one of these each year at one of the schools, train for the worst and then hope for the best.
The training allowing first responders to learn the layout of school buildings and navigate an environment that closely resembles what they'd see in an actual active violent scenario.
It's very well organized, and I'm really proud, and again, we hope we never have to use it.
Deputy John Brady says he brought the idea to Sheriff Wagner and Houchin's attention over 10 years ago. Since then, they've held it in the Norris, Waverly, and Raymond school districts with over 12 different rural agencies and over 80 different providers.
And these providers are EMTs, they're paramedics, they're nurses, who all have regular jobs and who all work during the week and are just dedicated to their community and are willing to kind of put themselves in an environment that they are certainly not used to.
Over time, growing even more beneficial. Situations including entering classrooms and clearing wide spaces while looking for a shooter or a possible suspect. A theme of the training, coordination, in school and out.
And our law enforcement agencies are all working together and training together to make sure if this ever happens that we're on top of it.
Danielle De Silva for Channel 8 News.
Well, it's kind of a cloudy start to your Thursday out there. This is our ABC Seamless camera. Not much of a shake, though, in the camera. Temperatures are relatively cooler out there as well. Let's get to meteorologist Dominic Ferraro. He's got an updated forecast here for us. Good morning, Dominic.
Hey, good morning, Andrew. I'm enjoying these cooler temperatures here while we got them. I know it's not necessarily going to last as we head into the weekend, but gotta get outside and enjoy them. I know I sat out on the back porch last night. It was great, beautiful weather out there. A little cloudy now, but we'll take it if it means we're not going to be melting here in the capital city for the rest of your afternoon. Honda of Lincoln camera, South 27th and Yankee Hill Road, looking off to the south and west. And again, fairly cloudy out there. So far, we've dodged the rain chances in Lincoln, but can't rule it out the rest of the way. 60s then in central Nebraska. That's where they've seen a fair amount of showers this morning, too, but it gets a little bit warmer then as you head out into the eastern edge of the state with temperatures ranging then from the upper 60s to low to mid 70s. Even Omaha there at 77. So they've gotten a little bit of warming up there. They've also had the most sunshine out of all of us. And as you can see into central Nebraska, a fair amount of cloud cover with a few light showers out there as well, especially down closer to the Kansas-Nebraska line. Now, Stormcast does keep us clear really for the majority of the afternoon and into the early evening. However, as we go through the overnight hours, another chance for showers and thunderstorms here for the start of the day on your Friday. And then as we head towards the rest of our afternoon here, likely only going to see the mid-70s for those highs and wind staying on the lighter side as well. So plenty more details on those storm chances as well as what we can expect then for some warmer weather this weekend coming up in a few minutes.
Talk to you then. Thank you very much, Dominic. Right now, the FDA is investigating a new potential outbreak of cyclosporiasis. The agency says the cluster includes dozens of cases of the severe stomach illness, but they're not saying where it started. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze gets us up to speed.
The FDA is investigating a new potential outbreak of that severe stomach illness, cyclosporiasis. It's not yet identifying a location or source, but says that this cluster includes at least 72 cases of the parasite. We are already seeing cases hit a record across the country in 41 states. More than 11,000 people have now gotten sick, and typically in a given year, there are around 3,000 cases of this. We are only halfway through the season right now. The FDA has linked at least 1,600 cases to Taylor Farms iceberg lettuce from Mexico, served at Taco Bell locations in 5 states. That's been recalled. We spoke with Chase Strangino in New York, who said he was one of more than 40 people who got cyclosporiasis after eating a boxed lunch with lettuce at a corporate event. He said he was sick for weeks. When untreated, symptoms for this can linger for days or even weeks, but thankfully antibiotics can help clear it up. Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, Washington.
Well, local lawmakers are responding to a billboard addressing impacts to the war in Iran. The billboard sparking questions and curiosity and also highlighting rising gas prices. And we learned it was put up by some high-profile people in Washington, D.C. This billboard is on the south side of 31st and Cornhusker Highway here in town. It shows President Trump next to a simple question. Why does gas cost so much this summer? Well, now these billboards are actually a part of a Sticker Shock Summer campaign. This website is on your screen here, showing gas prices across the country and how much more summer is costing your family. The campaign's main mission is focusing on how President Trump's administration's policies are making life more expensive for Americans. Well, we went directly to Senator Pete Ricketts to ask him what his message is to Nebraskans that are once again forced to pay nearly $4 a gallon of gas here in Lincoln as the war rages on.
And certainly the conflict in the Middle East with Iran has created hardships, not the least of which is for our military families. And of course, we tragically lost 3 more service members over the weekend. It has also raised the price of gasoline for families back here. And so there certainly is a burden that goes with it. But the risk of Iran getting a nuclear weapon cannot be tolerated.
Senator Ricketts also says he hopes to see a negotiation between the U.S. and Iran taking place soon, which would slowly start to lower the gas prices. There are 350 total billboards across the country, spanning in 16 different states, mainly on the East Coast. New details on just how much parents are expected to spend on back-to-school shopping. A new survey from the National Retail Federation shows families with K-12 students plan to spend on average of nearly $864 this upcoming school year, the highest total on record. The biggest expenses include electronics, clothing, and shoes.
One thing that helps you with is to spread that spending across the entire season, because these are not small sums of money that people are having to spend to get their kids back to school.
The Federation says many stores are already offering back-to-school sales, giving families a chance to spread out their purchases and save. College shoppers are expected to spend even more this year, with higher computer prices driving up the increase. As summer starts to wind back down, back-to-school preparation are ramping up for many families. Channel 8 is hosting its 3rd annual school supply drive to support the Lincoln Community Learning Centers. It's 1 week from today. We're collecting donations like backpacks, notebooks, pencils, and other school supplies to help local kids start the year ready to learn. Drop off your donations next Thursday, July 30th, in the Channel 8 parking lot just south of 10th and Van Dorn, anytime between 6 and 6 p.m. Husker football legend Tom Osborne is now a prestigious place. He becomes the first living Nebraskan to be inducted into the Historical Society's Hall of Fame. The vote on the board, unanimous.
Yes. Sarah Craig? Yes. Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Yeah, the Nebraska State Historical Society amending their rules that required an individual to be deceased for at least 35 years to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Still had this midday birth control for insects. We'll show you the innovative weapon researchers are brewing up in the lab to stop the spread of screwworm in the country.
Get an 11% rebate on everything automotive at Menards. Secure your equipment with Smart Strap's innovative line of ratchet tie-down products. Get this 4-pack featuring durable, military-grade construction. Now a value of $29.36 after rebate. Pennzoil Full Synthetic Motor Oil provides enhanced engine protection and prevents deposit buildups, keeping you on the road. Right now, get an 11% rebate on Pennzoil Full Synthetic Motor Oil at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
If you've been injured in a car accident, here are 3 important things you need to know. 1, on average, injured people with a trial lawyer get over 3 times more money than those without one. 2, Friedman Law are expert at helping injured people. It's all we've done for over 60 years. And 3, working with Friedman Law doesn't cost you anything, but not working with Friedman Law could cost you dearly. Call Friedman Law, 402-476-1093.
The tip in the jar, the overtime check, the Social Security you paid into. You earned it. And Pete Ricketts wants you to keep more of it. That's why Ricketts cut taxes on tips, cut taxes on overtime, and cut taxes again on Social Security benefits. For working Nebraskans, Pete Ricketts never met a tax he didn't want to cut. Call Pete Ricketts. Thank him for protecting Nebraska paychecks and retirement.
Bringing you the most comprehensive local coverage dedicated to serving our community and bringing Lincoln nothing but the best. When you need local trustworthy news, the answer is simple. KLKN, bringing you Nebraska Now.
The Osher Lifelong Learning Institute, or OLLI, is for adults over 50 who love learning. Come to the OLLI Open House on August 7th at the UNL East Campus Union from 12:30 to 3:30 p.m. to learn more. Sign up now at olli.unl.edu.
Developing now, researchers are finding more innovative ways to fight flesh-eating livestock pests.
That is the sister. They call it secondary screwworm because they go and do some meiosis.
A group of researchers in Texas now in the lab creating genetically modified flies to curb the reproduction of the screwworm. The group working with USA and testing it out by mounting a female New World screwworm and a male screwworm, which is GMO and sterile. They say the mating resulted in no offspring being produced, and they are looking to send these sterile flies out into nature as a birth control technique for the insects.
So we really have a lot of confidence in NovoFly. Females that we're releasing will actually distract our males. So our sterile males will spend a lot of time trying to chase and mate with sterile females and kind of wasting their time.
Researchers say it could take some time before we start to see noticeable results. They're pushing for more resources in research facilities to produce more sterile insects.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with meteorologist Dominic Ferraro.
Well, we've really gone from one end of the spectrum to the other here this week. We started out with our warmest temperatures of the calendar year on Monday, and now we are close to 15 degrees below average then for your high temperatures today. So personally, I'm going to enjoy these cooler temperatures while we have them because the warmer weather is on its way back. But for the rest of the afternoon here, cloud cover, maybe a sprinkle or two for some of us. Should keep things, though, cooler here for the rest of your Thursday. Better chances for some more showers and thunderstorms as we go through the overnight hours tonight, mainly for areas in southeast Nebraska ahead of then what will be the return of some of those warmer temperatures as we head into this weekend and into the start of next week. In terms of our drought monitor, it's Thursday, so we got a new update to that. Here's last week's data as we kind of gained a little more ground in that abnormally dry category here in yellow in southeast Nebraska. Still some fairly dry areas out towards the west. And as we take a look into this week's data now, take into account this doesn't take in any rainfall data we got yesterday, but we did see that area of abnormally dry kind of expand here in southeastern Nebraska to include the entirety of Lancaster County. Still plenty areas, though, that are fairly dry out in central and western Nebraska. That extreme drought here in that lighter red and that exceptional drought, which is the highest category that the U.S. Drought Monitor has out in portions of the Panhandle. Northeast Nebraska also still pretty dry out there, too, and chances for precipitation fairly limited, at least in areas that certainly could need it. I know we could see a little more here in southeast Nebraska as we go through the overnight hours tonight, but hopefully then we start to see some more for those folks out in central Nebraska and northeastern Nebraska too. Quick look outside here. Fairly cloudy start to your late morning, early afternoon in southeast Nebraska. Temperatures already in the low 70s. 71 right now in Lincoln was the warmest we got yesterday, so we're already at least past that mark, but still looking ahead to then a fairly pleasant afternoon ahead for us as well. Upper 60s in Beatrice, 67 in Hebron, mid 60s for the Tri-Cities area, close to 80 degrees already in Omaha, though I do think they'll kind of slow down with some of that heating as they start to see a little more of that cloud cover move in here off from the west. We got a couple light showers out there right along the Kansas-Nebraska line, but fairly overcast skies then as you get up to central portions of the state. That's going to try and stick around here too as we go through the afternoon and into the early evening. But as we head into the start of the day on Friday, the potential for a few more light showers, possibly even a few rumbles of thunder out of this, and better chances you get down close to the Kansas-Nebraska line for some very efficient rain-making storms. So localized flooding, a concern with these storms, at least for those who kind of see multiple storms move through the same area, but severe potential as we go through the overnight hours, fairly low, then leading us to partly to mostly cloudy skies for the rest of the day on Friday, and we'll see that cloud cover stick around here for the start of our weekend. In terms of rainfall potential, it'll be a pretty quick cutoff for those who could see anywhere between 1 to 2 inches of precipitation and close to nothing, but we'll take the moisture as whatever we can get, really, but hopefully it's going to continue to fall in more manageable amounts going forward. As we look at your high temperatures then today, this is hard to believe that we're talking about late July, but here we are, low to mid 70s for your afternoon temperatures, and we warm up a little bit as we head into your Friday afternoon highs with us reaching the low to mid 80s. And again, still 5 5 to 10 degrees below average, so we'll enjoy that because as we head into this weekend and into the start of next week, the return of the 90s, in fact, even as high as the upper 90s on Saturday and into Sunday, where we could see heat indices where that feels like temperature well above that 100-degree mark as well. So we'll be monitoring the potential for maybe a heat advisory there as we head into the start of next week. Rain chances fairly sporadic then as we go throughout next week as well. We'll keep an eye on it. I think we'll see a little more clarity in that forecast as we get a little bit closer. Otherwise, seasonal for those high temperatures in the upper 80s to low 90s.
All right, thank you very much, Dominic. Right now, Congressman Mike Flood is partnering with Illinois Congressman Eric Sorensen to launch a Weather and Enterprise Caucus. This aims to educate members of Congress about all things weather forecasting and research for focusing on economic, societal, and national security, valued by the United States weather system. Flood says our nation's ability to sustain and improve the accuracy of the weather forecasts has a direct impact on communities and businesses across the country. Coming up next, need for nurses, how one school is pushing to get more men in the nursing field, and why this could bring a record-breaking change. After earlier than expected, Travis Vokalek sharing overnight that doctors are advising him to medically retire after suffering a serious neck injury last season. He played for the Arizona Cardinals when the injury happened. He is thanking all of his training staff and says he lived out a childhood dream during his 3-year NFL career. He says he truly left it all out on the field. Right now, a growing push to get more men to pursue a career long dominated by women. There's a growing demand for nurses across the country, and men are missing out. But some nursing schools are trying to change that. Here's ABC's Hannah Battah.
You feel that, Earl? Feel what? That's a no. All right, now just apply the Dermabond.
On shows like The Pit and St. Denis Medical, male nurses are front and center.
You know, I actually have a few scars, and, you know, they're kind of cool. It shows you went through something and came out the other side.
Off-screen, they're still rare, just 1 in 8.
The stigma is that men don't necessarily have the caring role or the caring function, and that's for women.
Nurse Chris Jones says patients often assume he's the doctor.
I feel like I have to clarify that at least once or twice a week after I introduce myself with my title.
Professor Curry Bordelon is working to change all of this at the University of Alabama at Birmingham, where nearly 1 in 6 nursing students is now male, outpacing the national average. The school features male students in its marketing and sends nurses into high schools to recruit.
It's more and more representation within the academic setting. And when they see these faculty members in outreach programs, it allows them to say, if you choose this career, you will be very fulfilled in this career.
And the timing couldn't be better. Nearly 200,000 nursing jobs are expected to open up every year for the next decade. The paycheck doesn't hurt either. The median salary for registered nurses now tops $90,000 a year.
With nurses, obviously, job security's there, and we can go to bed knowing that we can wake up the next day to take really good care of patients. So it's reassuring, honestly.
And experts say more men in scrubs could mean better care, especially for male patients who are less likely to seek it out.
Our patients want to have providers that look like them, whether it be age, race, gender, and when they do, they tend to open up more.
Bordelon's message to men still on the fence?
Now more than ever, men are needed within nursing.
Hannah Battah, ABC News, New York.
Still ahead, a track star's story of love, how he was able to overcome the odds and the woman standing right beside him.
The time to buy new furniture is now.
His name is Kenny Bednarek, and many might know about his multiple Olympic medals, but maybe not about the woman who worked so hard to help him get there. Here's ABC's Danny New.
In his young track and field career, 27-year-old sprinter Kenny Bednarek has won a lot of hardware, including 2 Olympic silver medals.
I don't know if you want to say your name.
I am Mary Ann.
But he says none of that could have happened without the support of his mother, Mary Ann Bednarek.
I don't know what situation I would be in if, she didn't have the patience and love and care.
Mary Ann adopted Kenny and his twin brother Ian out of foster care when they were around 4 years old, joining 2 girls she had adopted a few years earlier. Mary Ann adopted the oldest, Mary Claire, while stationed in Japan as she was working as a midwife with the Air Force.
I didn't care what color my kids were. It didn't matter to me. I just wanted to be a mother.
Kenny says he does not remember much about that time and that he didn't really feel in control of his life until he found sports. Mary Ann says by the time he got to 9th grade.
And the coach in the 9th grade said, your son is special. And I said, I know he is. He's my son. And he said, no, you don't understand.
Well, soon Kenny was setting records in both high school and college, with Mary Ann cheering him along. And not before long, he turned pro and was competing in the Olympics. In 2020's Tokyo Olympics, Mary Ann understandably could not attend. But when 2024's Paris Olympics rolled around.
What frequency of sound did you reach when he was running?
As loud as I could go. I screamed.
Anytime my mom's in the stadium, I can hear her somehow.
These days, Kenny is now gearing up for the USA Track and Field Outdoor Championships this weekend, with the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles on the horizon.
I think I might be more excited than you because it's in my back. It's here, so I can bring everybody.
Woohoo!
And that might all be part of the strategy, since Kenny says he always feels a charge to run faster when his mother is in the stands.
I'm so happy that I have you guys. And I thank God every single night.
By the way, that home Mary Ann was sitting in, Kenny bought her that house in 2023. He said it meant a lot to him to be able to do that for his mom and say to her, quote, "Here you go, I'll take care of you." In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
Before we go to break, a cloudy look outside with our Barry Law Tower camera. We have a final check of the forecast next.
At Stanton, for a limited time, kids get a free eye exam. Penguins need clear vision. Kids do too. Plus, glasses start at just $79. Made same day. Smart, simple. Stanton.
KLKN is bringing you the best quality newscast. Whether it's breaking news, community concerns, or the stories shaping our future, we're committed to keeping you informed every step of the way. Our team is always there, bringing you the most comprehensive local coverage, dedicated to serving our community and bringing Lincoln nothing but the best. When you need local, trustworthy news, the answer is simple. KLKN, bringing you Nebraska now.
Save more at Hy-Vee, Friday through Sunday. Pork chops, just 99 cents. Hy-Vee butter, $2.99. Fresh ground beef, just $4.88 for a 1-pound roll. Fresh raspberries or blackberries, just $2.99. New York strips, just $8.99. Save on Blue Ribbon Classics ice cream. Lots of matzo pizza, Pepsi, and more, Friday through Sunday. Plus, get pickup and delivery in as fast as 30 minutes at Hy-Vee.
Bring the outdoors in with a custom sunroom. More light, more space, and year-round comfort. Perfect for relaxing or entertaining. Designed for your home and built for every season. Call ABC Seamless of Nebraska today and let the sun shine.
At Stanton, our progressive lenses are digital, customized for you. All distances, one lens. Get 2 progressives plus a free eye exam for just $175. Smart, simple, Stanton.
Tonight, a fun opportunity to observe nocturnal insects. Lincoln Parks and Rec hosting a moth night starting at 8 o'clock at the Cunningham Schoolhouse. This is part of Nebraska's Moth Week. It is free, family-friendly program included with a guided evening walking through the prairie. Participants will learn how light sources attract different species in their ecological roles. Well, is the weather going to bug anybody at this thing, Dominic?
That was pretty good, and hopefully not. It'll be on the cooler side here, and I don't know how the moths feel about the cooler weather, but I mean, if light's the question, I'm sure they'll be fine. But take a look at those temperatures across the state the rest of the day. Low to mid-70s in eastern Nebraska. Better chances for the 80s, and maybe in a few spots the upper 80s to low 90s out in the Panhandle. But I think the majority of us are staying below average here for the rest of your Thursday. A chance for AM showers and thunderstorms here for Friday. A few of those could impact our morning commute, but then as we head into the weekend here, temperatures are going to stay on the warmer side as well. So we'll go ahead and see some warmer temperatures heading our way. I know I'll be enjoying the cooler weather while we have it. So, you know, it's summertime. We're going to see the return of the 90s. It was inevitable.
You got to make a roller coaster temperature thing tomorrow, Dominic.
I'll get on that.
It's been a roller coaster. All right. GMA 3 is next, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.
Come see us at our new South Point location. Locally owned, comfort-made mattress factory, handcrafted, built right here, and backed with a lifetime comfort guarantee.
Let your voice be heard by sharing your photos and videos to the Now Local News app. Earn points and redeem them for gift cards. Scan the QR code to join.
Someone who gets your sense of style is appreciated, especially after being in a hospital gown all week. The Synergy Effect, brought to you by Synergy Home Care.
Get an 11% rebate on your next project at Menards. Update your bathroom with a new vanity cabinet from Dakota. They're available in a variety of finishes and feature generous interior storage. Get this sliding barn door vanity for a value of $149.96 after rebate. Update your living spaces with new flooring. Mohawk laminate floors are durable, waterproof, and easy to install. Get Perfect Seal Solutions laminate flooring for a value of $239 per square foot after rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
It's
It's not always about hitting the right notes. It's about a career in tune with your life. The Synergy Effect. Brought to you by Synergy Home Care.
Stay ahead of the storm with Rusty Dawkins at 4:30, 5, 6, and 10+.
It's time for GMA3, the dangerous flash flood threat taking aim right now. Millions in the path after torrential rains battered the eastern half of the country. We're tracking the latest. New questions in the death of Nolan Wells after inconclusive preliminary results from the autopsy ordered by his parents, and new information about how the 18-year-old's body was found. Plus, it's a 13 going on 30 reunion. Jennifer Gardner and Judy Greer set to appear in the reimagining of the beloved movie. What we know about the real-life Friends cameo. It's time for GMA3.
Doesn't it just make you want to dance? Yes. Guess what, guys? It's almost Friday. Happy Thursday to all of you. I'm Rachel Scott. Also a reason to dance. I'm Rebecca Jarvis here with Whit Johnson, and we're so glad you can join us today.
Absolutely. Coming up here, don't let your summer budget melt away. Mrs. Dow Jones is here with 5 simple fixes to help you cool down your spending.
Yeah, that's what we call a good tease. Ed. All right. Plus, celebrity dog trainer Jamie Goodrich has written a book, and now she's here to talk about the tips and the tricks that you need to know to train your pet.
Yep, looking forward to that. But we do begin with the flood threat in the mid-Atlantic states with storms stalling over the region. Leslie Lopez is in Raleigh, North Carolina with the latest. Hey, Leslie.
Hey, I know we're here in North Carolina. We're watching the rain come down very steadily. It's been very heavy at times. Behind me, a creek is swelling, and we're expecting to see North Carolina continue to be threatened with flooding. In fact, nearly the entire state is under a flood watch.
Millions in the path of a days-long flood threat as stalling storms dump dangerous downpours in the east.
All the businesses are underwater.
Dramatic new images showing the aftermath of the devastating flash flooding that spawned parts of West Virginia. Entire neighborhoods submerged. National Guard vehicles out in force. More than 80 water rescues reported in a 20-hour period. Some residents even paddling in to help however they can.
Myself and a few others are just kind of going around making sure everyone's okay. Some people are stranded in parking lots.
Home security camera footage capturing this man grabbing his son and heading to safety seconds before his shed and ATV are washed away. Flash floods also prompting rescues in Tennessee. This woman carried to safety from her car. The storms also spawning at least 23 tornadoes across 6 states from New Jersey to Kentucky. This couple surviving an EF2 twister that destroyed their home, holding hands as they rode out the storm in these recliners.
And we just kept saying, hang on, and don't let me go, don't let me go. And we're just glad to be alive.
Further south, the Gulf feeling the brunt of Bertha, the tropical storm making landfall in St. Bernard Parish, Louisiana. The storm surge kicking up waves in New Orleans and flooding along the coast as far as Biloxi, Mississippi.
Now, we are expecting to see several days of rain. So while it's steady and then at times heavy, this will go on all the way through Saturday, especially here in North Carolina. We'll have a nice substantial break Friday afternoon into the evening, but another heavy round of rain returns as we're getting into Saturday morning and due to exit Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, we're thinking about all of those, right, that had that damage. Okay, Leslie, thank you. We're going to turn now to questions in the death of Nolan Wells after results from an autopsy ordered by the teen's family. Chief investigative correspondent Aaron Katersky has been tracking this story all week. Hi, Aaron.
Hey, Rachel, this has to be agonizing for the parents of Nolan Wells. They laid him to rest this week without knowing how he died, and now the autopsy the family commissioned has come up empty. There are still no final answers for the parents of Nolan Wells after the autopsy report they commissioned found the cause and manner of the 18-year-old's death to be undetermined.
There's so many people out in the public asking all of these questions, but the only question that we have is what happened to our son.
Wells vanished during a July 4th boat trip to a remote barrier island off the Mississippi Gulf Coast, and his body was recovered 2 days later. The state's autopsy is still pending. The family autopsy found there were no fractures or deep tissue injuries, but described an area of red discoloration on the back of his head.
That's a signal to me that the pathologist is not certain that it's due to trauma. Discoloration can happen from lots of different things, and especially in a decomposed body, discoloration could just be a consequence of decomposition.
The pathologist said he could not observe the airway and lungs for water because the Mississippi medical examiner had already removed parts of the young man's body, pointing out that is common practice. Sources tell ABC News Wells was found wearing only swim trunks, face down in the water, consistent with a drowning. Wells's friend Warren Hudson, appearing on the Officer Tatum Show podcast,